Hello and welcome to my final video for the Master Grade Sazabi Ver KA. And as you can see, finally after a few months of working on it and dealing with other things, I finally have got this kit finished. I am extremely proud of what I've been able to do with it. I've never airbrushed a Master Grade to this extent, so I think it came out pretty nice. And I'll just kind of point out what I did with it. The color scheme is essentially the same as what you're going to get out of the box. I just tried to mimic the colors as best as I could, and I think I did a pretty decent job. Some of the colors may be up or down a notch of where they should have been, but I think overall the effect that I got with mine I really like. So I did that. I did pre-shading. It's a little hard to tell, and I think it's because I'm still kind of new when it comes to pre-shading, and I think my base coat wasn't dark enough for them. So it doesn't stand out as well as some others, but just looking at it, like if we kind of look down there at the ankle armor, and if I kind of zoom in, we see a little bit right there, and you can see it a lot better, like kind of like in areas over here. If I zoom in right there. It's kind of hard to see in this light, but there's a little bit going on there. So it's on there. I just think the next time I paint a kit, I'm definitely going to make the base coat a little bit darker so it stands out. But I really like it. I love it, as a matter of fact. It's such a cool kit, and once the paint goes on and then you get the decals on it, I did a flat coat, and for my flat coat, I just used a little bit of this Alclad 2 clear coat flat, and I think it came out really nice. It makes such a huge difference. I just kind of want to add, I've never been a huge person when it came to putting that final coat on a model kit. You know, for the most part, I would just kind of leave it after I painted it and got the decals on it, and that was it. And I guess I just never really saw or felt like, you know, there's an advantage to doing this, or there's an advantage, you know, advantages to not doing it. I just never really did it. And now that I've done it on this, it really stands out. It really kind of finishes that look, I think, that we're going for. So definitely from now on, I'll be flat coating these guys. So again, I kept the reds the same color. My exposed frame parts are a little bit lighter on the gray. Probably the most noticeable difference that we'll see on this version is I opted to change the color of the propellant tanks to a white color, and I think it makes all the difference in the world. I know I wasn't the first person to have this idea. I'm sure a good majority of you guys, when you saw this, said, oh yeah, going to be changing that. And I think it looks better. I know the original incarnation of this kit had the white propellant tanks. The high grade has the white ones. The old Master Grade, as far as I'm sure remember, it has the white ones. So I just think it looks better, and that's what I did. The decals on this kit, I think, really go a long ways to making it shine. So if you're thinking about buying this kit, I highly recommend that you do decal it, and it'll really add something to the kit. So the only other things that I've really done, in the kit you get a bunch of aluminum covered parts, and I didn't put any kind of primer on the aluminum parts. I just went over them with this Alclad lacquer. It's a white aluminum, and I know this works a lot better often when you put like a light or dark coat underneath at first and then spray paint it over. I just opted to do it like that, and I came out with a bright, clean aluminum look that I really like. I don't know, some people may like it a little bit darker. I like it. It gives it a really neat mechanical look. So, and if we just kind of maybe take a look at one of our funnels, I kind of need to be careful because they get scuffed up in there. But each individual funnel has this one decal that wraps all the way around it. And, you know, like all those things, you know, by the time you get to the last one, you wish you were as good as it when you put on the first one. I'm going to grab a different one. I grabbed a different one because the little thruster in there sticked in on that one, and I don't want to pry it out right now. So our funnel, I think, looks pretty cool. And when it's all said and done, we've got 6 of those. And I like the way it came out. I think my only regret on the funnels is if I'd been paying more attention, I probably would have painted the inside right here a dark gray color and then left the outside red. But I like it. I think the decals on it help them to not look so, I don't know what the word would be. I don't think boring would work, but I had the paint or the kit assembled after I painted it, and the funnels are definitely missing something without that white strip on the top. So really cool. Really like that. And let's kind of break down a few of the parts here. Let's take a look at the shield. There's one other thing that I did with the shield. So, fully completed. I've got, right, you can kind of see it right there. I got a few drops, unfortunately, of some of the coat that came off that I didn't notice until it dried, and actually didn't notice it till right now, unfortunately, so I'll have to go back and straighten that out. But the shield in its 2 different color tone works out really well. And then I just kept the back that gray color. One other thing that I did is the missiles inside the shield come molded in black, and I thought they would look nicer in white. So we've got our beam axe here. And I didn't do anything too special there. I kept the colors pretty much the way they should be. I just tried to give it a little bit of like a 2-tone color effect where you see, you know, some of the pre-shading. And the pre-shading kind of sticks out a little bit more on these gray and black parts. You know, I noticed it definitely a lot more on the back of the shield. So I think the lighter colors work well for lighter pre-shading, and I just got to go a little bit darker when it comes to the darker colors. Which, when you say that out loud, makes kind of sense. So, really happy with how the shield turned out. The long rifle, I am also happy with. And again, it comes molded in gray, but we get these yellow decals as well as some of the white ones, which I think really finish the look. And overall makes for a really pleasing looking gun that you can have him posing with. Then we've also got the shot rifle, which is connected very firmly by his hand with that 2 peg grip system in there. And for the rifle, I thought about maybe making this a different color, and then I just opted not to. What I did instead is I just tried to highlight these a little bit back here and on the grip, just to kind of mix it up so it wasn't completely black. And then went in and painted this strip red. The cool thing about the gun is you don't have to worry too much about trying to hide any seam lines, because the way this assembles, the only actual seam line you're going to see is right in there, right, that one right there, which I didn't fill. But if you're super concerned about that, you can. I didn't really worry about that one because it's not something that I'm ever going to see. So overall, I think it came out pretty nice. One other thing I'm going to warn you guys, if you decide that you are going to paint your kit and it's a must that you have your beam sabers, well, that's nice. It's a must that you have your beam sabers out. You might want to think twice about how you paint them, because I got mine in and they are not coming out. They could probably come out, but they are going to have some issues with how they look once I get them out. So those are going to stay in the kit for the time being. And now this is wanting to be difficult. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to take the gun out of his hand. All right. So, overall, it's just a wonderful kit. I can't express enough to anybody. If you're interested in buying this, definitely pick it up. Does it have a higher price tag? Yes. But in this case, it's definitely worth it. I kind of shy away from some of the more expensive kits just because I can't see the justification in purchasing them. For example, Bandai Online Hobby Shop exclusive kits. Which totally suck, by the way, and I think are a scam. The kit itself doesn't suck. I mean, the kits are very cool, but when you are releasing something that you know people are really gonna want, and you double the price on it and only sell it on one place, I can kind of tend to have an issue with. Personally, I don't know. It's a frustrating subject. So when you consider the cost of those, and this, you know, is going to be running around kind of what some of those cost, you know, I can see why some people may not want it, but you definitely get what you pay for. And, you know, sometimes I don't like to spend, like I say, I don't like to spend more than what I think something is worth. But, you know, if something is expensive, but it's worth what they're charging, and it's worth the money, then I don't care what it costs. You know, if I can afford it, I'll get it because it's worth it to me. So in this sense, when I first saw this kit and I saw the price tag, I was hesitant, but not anymore. I'm the most pleased I think I've ever been working on a kit and getting a result that came out as nice as this one did. So overall, you definitely have to give this kit high marks. You get loads of beam effect parts, which I've already shown. We get this gun, which they have chosen never to release before until now in that form. You know, we get this gigantic shield. We got the very cool beam axe, the beam shot rifle, and this beautiful looking kit that I mean, you can put this on your shelf and it doesn't matter what you collect or what you like to put there. This is going to stand out. This is going to really just add to what you guys already have, and it's definitely going to be a centerpiece. It's definitely going to be, you know, something that your friends are going to run over and want to know a little bit more about. So master grade Sazabi Ver KA in its completed form, fully painted, and just a treat, a pleasant kit to work on. Highly recommend it. So with that, I've rambled on a bit much, but it's just such a treat. I can't go on enough about it. Definitely buy it if you guys are thinking about it. I appreciate your patience. Like I say, it's taken me a bit longer than I wanted to for this one. But my next few projects are going to be a lot smaller. Actually, they'll still be master grades, but they're not going to be as complicated as this guy. So those should go a little bit quicker. And then I can get to some really cool stuff that's coming in the mail. I'll show that to you guys. It's a kit you have already seen. Actually, it's been worked on by somebody else, and they have lost interest in it, and I'm going to attempt to finish it. And a lot of you guys have probably already seen it, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you at the next video.